tank spread. And yeah, I'm interested to see where this goes. He's keeping the pressure up, and I mean, Splayers does have map control, and he gets to pick off one of the Vikings. So finally, we got some kind of deaths going on over here. I'm ready to see something. But oh, he's gonna move up his tanks just outside of the range, and oh, if only they were a little closer, then they could pick off that turret, and they wouldn't have to worry about it anymore. But a Viking's gonna come out, and he might be able to pick that off. Can he do it? Yes, he's gonna pick off another Viking. And he's got Terran ship level weapons too coming along, so these Vikings are going to be pretty powerful, but they are low on health, keep in mind. And these tanks are going to be within range now of DrPain's turret, so they should be taking it out as soon as he gets sight on it. And there it goes. He's just gonna bring his Vikings close enough to get sight on it, but not too close because he wants to preserve his Vikings' health as long as he can. And yeah, now it looks like he's free to just roam around, and he does have the weapons upper hand on DrPain as far as the Vikings go, because DrPain's been upgrading his ground units, and looks like Terran's ship weapons level 2 is just over halfway done. He's got more tanks on the way, more Vikings on the way, and yeah, it looks like DrPain should actually be focusing on some different upgrades rather than just his infantry, because his infantry is actually not that important in this hold. But he might even try a drop soon. We'll see. But Splayers is going to go ahead and safely grab his third, and confidently grab his third, knowing that he has full and complete map control, especially with all these tanks. Nothing is going to be able to move out, and it's not like the Vikings can come over and do anything, because Splayers' Vikings are just already way too powerful for him. As soon as that upgrade's finished, they're going to have a lot of power on him. But DrPain's he's got an infantry armor completing now, and vehicle weapons level 1 being upped. So his tanks will be a little bit more damaging. But now he's building a second armory right next to his first one. That way he can start getting upgrades for, and he's got a third one planned as soon as it's done, so he can get air upgrades and his tanks upgrades all at once as fast as he can. But yeah, as soon as this third is up and running, I would imagine that his economy will just skyrocket past DrPain's, because I don't know what he's going to do with his command center unless he tries to ninja that top left. But yeah, this is a pretty interesting engagement here. Both tanks are just without range. Oh, and there it goes, Oh, the top one. The tanks are going to take it out, but the Vikings are going to come back and try to do something. This is a huge engagement. He's going to be losing all of his Vikings if he doesn't watch him, and he does. And the Marines are coming out, and they're going to get picked off by these tanks. And these Vikings are just doing a beautiful job of holding the tanks ground here. And he's got more tanks over here that he could actually move up, and he's really just containing him in. And it looks like, yeah, he is actually going to try and go ahead and do this. Splayers is actually talking to me right now, seeing if I'm done. Sorry, Splayers, I am casting your game currently, so I'm gonna go ahead and put myself on busy. So yeah, it looks like right now Splayers is holding on to this game or pretty well, and yes, it looks like DrPain is going to try and grab this top left one without his opponent knowing. I would imagine that Splayers, being the player he is going to scout that soon enough, but the worker transfer is coming to his third, and he's going to go ahead and really saturate that one up, especially since he's lost his minerals on the original, and his natural is looking pretty good. But this is just a great hold, contain going on right here. And yep, he sees the towers. He knows, why are there towers there? Well, there's got to be something going on up here. I would through his imagination, I would think that he knows already. But his ship weapons level 3 are coming in, and these Vikings are going to be very powerful. And currently, his tanks are almost within range of the bunker, but sadly, these tanks are already here defending it. But this is it. If I was both these Terran players, I'd be scared of each other. I don't really know how this is gonna work out. Only time will tell. But yeah, it looks like we got all these upgrades coming in as fast as they can. We got another orbital coming up right here for Splayers. He'll be able to mule up everything, and it looks like he's going to go down and try to pick off this planetary fortress that DrPain has just made as his fourth. He's really trying to expand without his opponent knowing, but this is definitely going to fall to these tanks, because these tanks should be able to outrage this planetary pretty easily, unless he's not watching his units. There you go. Beautiful. He's just going to take it one tank. One tank's going to take the whole thing, but there comes the siege. and he's going to go ahead and take out this planetary fortress. So what a waste of money, what a waste of minerals, gas from DrPain. Not that it was a bad choice, it was just a great play from Splayers. And once these SCVs, they're pretty much trapped now in their own little landlocked area. Meanwhile, we do have this base. It's up and running. It's pretty saturated, and DrPain is he's actually above his supply, or he was for a little bit. And it's 180 to 185, and here come the Vikings, and the Vikings are going to engage, and I don't think DrPain realizes that, oh my gosh, Splayers Vikings are so much more powerful, and the tanks are going to run in, just get picked off. That was a terrible decision by DrPain. I guess he was just tired of being contained, and he realized that he needed to get out of there. But the bunker is going to secure the Vikings getting out of the region, because he doesn't want to lose any more Vikings, even though he just picked off all of his opponents. Oh, careful. These tanks are within range of each other, but they're not doing anything, and there it goes right there. And the Marines are going to come out and get picked off by his tanks. We got a unit swap going back and forth right here. Scans going down, trying to figure out what's going on. I don't want to see the Marines coming out and getting picked off by those tanks. I hate to see that. They just get free kills. But he's got workers going to the gold right now, just trying to get as much as he can. But right now it's just a flat-out tank battle, and he's using the Vikings for sight. Oh, and does he not realize that the tank is being picked off by his opponents right there? Oh man, that's gotta hurt right there. And again, these tanks are all within range of each other, but if he brings enough, he should be able to take it out, and he will. And this tank on the high ground is gonna get taken out. And this slow push is slow pushing up his opponent's base, and so it's doing exactly what it needs to be doing. But this command center is coming up here again, and he's got a drop defending right here. But Splayers does have a beautiful placed sensory tower, so he does know all about this. And the medevac's gonna take off, and he's gonna run back. And I guess he doesn't really care about these Marines. He could land and turn around and fight, but I don't really see a point to that. These Marines aren't too big of a threat. But the command center is going to try and come up again. He will be sitting on 4 bases once that happens. But there goes the sensory tower down. Poor little SCV. All he wanted to do was just see what was going on. But that's not going to be able to happen for him. More workers transferring over from Splayers over to his third. And the slow push is slowly beginning to push up again. And the Vikings are going to get picked off by Splayers if he doesn't watch him. Because, oh no, it looks like he might even be able to outmaneuver him. But, oh, here it comes, and Splayers, with the minuscule amount of Vikings that he had, can still pick him off because of all of his upgrades. So we got a Terran vehicle armor and weapons coming for Splayers tanks. So it looks like he might just be able to out-upgrade him, even if they have the same amount of units. Both players are sitting at 185 and 137 supplies, so Splayers is well ahead in this game. And he's going to go ahead and check up here. I'm surprised he didn't take that out again. Maybe he doesn't know about it, but no, he actually doesn't know about it. So he's gonna just go ahead and just bring his tanks back up and help the slow push. But he's gonna try and fly his Vikings over, and oh, if he could, he could go over and pick that off, but he needs to watch out for the towers right there. And oh, the Marines are gonna come and try and kill some Vikings, but little do they know there are so many tanks right here, and it's just going to wipe him out completely. So the medevac will drop off many SCVs to come saturate this fourth, and he will be sitting on 3 bases that are still flowing. But Splayers has total map control, grabbing his fourth safely now, and he really doesn't have to worry about any kind of harassment on his own bases, because the second DrPain leaves his base to harass, it'll just be GG, because Splayers can just flood inside. Because yes, there are a lot of tanks defending, but look at all the tanks attacking. My god, that is so many tanks. Let's see exactly how many there are. 30 tanks from Splayers. He could just run them all in and siege them at once, and he'd probably win. But the Vikings are going to come in here, and oh, the tanks are going to pick off the air turret, and he's going to siege up on the low ground and use his Vikings as a sight. And he needs to take out that Viking right there, and then move it up, and he'll be able to take out the other air turrets. And this is beautiful play by Splayers. He's going to take out the other reinforcing Vikings, and these SCVs, they just got blown up together, died together. But he's going to siege up a tank right there, and looks like he's like, you know what, forget going up your ramp. I'm just going to go over to the edge and just make sure you can't build anything else. So, oh, looks like we have a very close expansion right here. Splayers is trying to expand bottom. while he's got 2 command centers up and running right there, and yeah, see, he still doesn't know about this. I'm surprised he doesn't check that. But Thor's coming out to deal with those Vikings, but he's getting hit by the tanks and he doesn't realize it. But there comes the scan, and the Thor's going to get taken out that easily. That was not very good handling by DrPain. But yeah, Splayers really needs to find these factories right here. He's got 5 factories for Tech Labs. It's going to be producing so many Thors, and there goes the scan. He sees it all, and he's got to be like, oh my goodness gracious, I need to wipe that out as fast as I can. I'm going to unsiege a bunch of tanks, and I'm going to go over there, because this is just plenty to defend his own right now. But he'll be going there as fast as he can, and now both players know about each other's bases right here, and DrPain won't be able to land. But a bunch of Vikings and a bunch of Thors coming to wipe this out. He does have a couple Hellions and some Thors coming out. The Hellions would be to deal with Marines, but they really aren't going to do too much against tanks and Vikings. So the Vikings are going to flood in, and the tanks are going to be able to siege up and take out everything before little DrPain can do anything with this. But right now, the stack of command centers is just sitting there, not doing anything, and these Vikings will easily be able to take it out. They are fully upgraded attack Vikings, and meanwhile, this push is going to keep going, and these tanks are going to wipe out all of his Thors. This is looking like it might just be GG for Red. Oh, and there it goes from DrPain. He don't even want to see his units die. He lost his 4th. His 3rd was it would be running out of minerals very soon, and this was just insanely awesome map control from Splayers. He's got the entire map controlled except for a couple of bases, so that was just a great 1v1, and we'll